What's happening, everybody? Dave Bowen back again with another message, and today we are going to talk about the real law of attraction and how it works and how you can actually use it to change your life and attract what you want into your life instead of attracting what you don't want. Which, if you're not attracting what you want, obviously you're attracting what you don't want, because this world is full of dualities and opposites. So, first of all, before I get going on this, I want to say a couple things. For those of you that watch my videos, this is normal. Doubt everything. Doubt everything that I say, okay? And go out, research it yourself, find your own light and truth. I'm only giving you my light and truth that I found, but as the great Buddha once said, you have to do the work. Buddhas only show the way. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a Buddha, but you get the point. I'm only trying to show you the way that I found. You have to go out and do the work if you want to get the same results, or be able to use this information. Okay, so by no means am I trying to push my beliefs or anything like that on you. I'm only trying to share with you what I've gone through in my spiritual journey, which has just been incredible. And if everybody would go through the same journey that I did, this world would be a beautiful place. It already is beautiful, but I mean, it would be peaceful. And, as the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, there's enough in the world for everyone's need. There's not enough in the world for everyone's greed. Okay, and that's so true. If we would just all stop being so greedy, especially these bankers, and I'm not trying to get off topic here, but, this world would be a completely different place. So, if you're interested in what we've been talking about, I highly recommend going on this spiritual journey, and finding your true self. Before I get started, another thing I'll say, there are a few books I would highly recommend. A couple of them we're going to talk about today, by Ekanath Esawan. Okay, he's written the Dhammayata, which is Buddhist, basically the main Buddhist text, the most important Buddhist text. The Upanishads, okay, and then the Bhagavad Gita, okay, and all three will change your life. They already have mine. But anyways, I want to say something from this Buddhist text, and it's the first chapter called Twin Verses, and he says, our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil thought, as wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draw it. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought, like a shadow that never leaves. And and then another, skipping ahead here a little bit, a couple verses. For hatred can never put an end to hatred. Love alone can. This is an unalterable law. And there's more in here about that. That's just the one that I wanted to mention. But even the Buddha knew that we become what we think. And, as much as I love the law of attraction and the movie The Secret, and some of the people like Bob Proctor and a few other people, a couple of them aren't actually, from the research I've done, aren't actually as good as they make you think they are. But I'm not going to mention their names because that's not what this is about. But anyways, they really stole this, in a sense. They stole this information, the law of attraction, which it was not called that back in the day, but from the ancients. I mean, the ancients have talked about this stuff for eons and eons and eons, way before, the law of attraction ever came out. Through Buddhist texts, Hindu texts, Greek, philosophy, Egyptian philosophy, and Egyptian culture, and they talk, mainly P. Hall talks about it in this book, which is another book that I highly recommend getting. But they knew this, and one of the ways that they knew this was what you call the microcosm and the macrocosm. And basically, in this example, this can be used in a lot of different examples, but the microcosm is us, okay, and the macrocosm is the universe. And the ancients knew what we're just finding out today, thousands of years ago, that inside us is the universe. We are nothing but a holographic image of the universe. So basically, each one of us, you, me, whoever else, every single living being, even animals, have a whole entire universe inside of them. and it's amazing, and their scientists are finding that out today. And I've mentioned this many times in my blog posts and stuff about the holographic universe. That's a new theory, which I believe is true and provable. But it's from theoretical physicists, so technically it's not a fact yet, I guess. But anyways, basically, for those of you that don't know what a hologram is, what a true hologram is basically, you have a sheet of film paper that has all kinds of different markings, codes on it, okay? And by the naked human eye, you will not be able to see anything. But if you take a laser, okay, if you take a laser and you shine that light, okay, through the holographic film, you will get an image, okay? Now, a 3D image. Now you can take this and cut this in as many tiny small pieces as you want, and then cut those small pieces, and then cut those small pieces, and shine the laser through it, and you will get the whole image again. Okay, so each part is a whole. So no matter how small a part is, it's a whole. It's part. It doesn't give you part of an image. It gives you the whole image. Okay, and so basically what that means is that we're not as small or as unimportant as we think we are. And through quantum physics, which I'm going to read a quote from the founder of quantum physics. But first of all, I want to say through quantum physics and different studies that they've done, they found that they used to call us the observer, but a more better word is a participator, because we actually change the results of the test. We change the results. Okay, by us participating in the test, we change the results. All right, which is unbelievable. So basically, all of us are participating in creating this universe. All right, and this is a book by Greg Braden, which is another one I highly, highly recommend getting. I haven't read the whole book yet. I've watched most of his. Man, my mind's going blank today. His speech on it. The Divine Matrix, and I actually posted this in my last blog post. If you go to blog.davidbowen.net and read the blog post about esoteric brain science, I put this video at the very bottom, okay? And it's like 3.5 hours long, but it's one of the most important videos you will ever watch in your entire life, or you can just go out and get the book, but I recommend watching both. And anyways, what I'm talking about today is basically what Greg Braden's talking about in here. Okay, and here's the very first real page of the book. And it's a quote from Max Planck, the founder of quantum physics. And he says, "All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter." Okay, and again, that's Max Planck from 1944. With these words, Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, described a universal field of energy that connects everything in creation, the divine matrix. The divine matrix is our world. It is everything in our world. It is us. It is all that we love, hate, create, and experience. Living in the divine matrix, we are as artists expressing our innermost passions, fears, dreams, and desires through the essence of a mysterious quantum canvas. But we are the canvas, as well as the images upon the canvas. We are the paints as well as the brushes. In the divine matrix, we are the container within which all things exist, the bridge between the creations of our inner and outer worlds, and the mirror that shows us what we have created. This book is written for those of you who long to awaken to the power of your greatest passions and deepest aspirations. In the divine matrix, you are the seed of the miracle as well as the miracle itself. And that's just the beginning of this book. I mean, he goes into some amazing things in here. And one thing I want to talk about today, again, is the real law of attraction, how to use it in your life. But I want to give you the background of where this comes from. Now, I'm going to read from one more book, okay? And I'm gonna do some give you my thoughts on it, because I had an incredible idea pop in my mind during my meditation just a little bit ago that I want to share with you. But this is from the Law of One. Okay, now these are very unique books. There's actually 5 books. I've got 3 of them. I've only read the first one. But there's a guy by the name of David Wilcock who's wrote the Source Field Investigations. He's been on Ancient Aliens, and he wrote his new book, The Synchronicity Key, which I have and read, and it's incredible. But anyways, he has been talking and just talking this book up. And basically what this is, and some of you may laugh, some of you may call me crazy or call, whoever crazy, but this is actually through channeling. This is one of the real, few real channels that have happened. Okay, a lot of people that say they're channeling spirits or whatever on YouTube or online, you have to be very careful. Most of them are just fake, trying to make money, trying to get money and attention. But very few people have actually channeled a real entity, a real being, and this one is one of them. And in the beginning, it was over 20 years of research. In the beginning, they give you, the whole background of it and how they got started and this and that. But anyways, the person that was channeling this was actually a girl. Her name was Carla Reichardt. Anyways, and she was a devout Christian. She was not a scientist. I can't even remember, as a matter of fact, what she did for a living. But she was a devout Christian, not a scientist. And the stuff that she was saying, and see what would happen is she would give you a brief background. Not going to be very long on this. She would get in a deep trance in meditation, and this basically she would leave her real self, would leave her body, and then this entity would be able to enter into her and speak. But he could only speak if questions were asked to him. It's very interesting. But anyways, if you read this book, you get a lot more background on it. But anyways, the scientific information this was done in 1981. And the scientific information that was in this book, a lot of it is kind of coded, or how do I say it? You have to have a deep understanding to really understand, kind of like the Bible, like Jesus' teachings. You have to have a deep understanding and a deep knowledge to really understand what he's saying, parables and different things like that. That's kind of how this is written. Is how this entity spoke. His name was Ra, which coincidentally, and he even says that he was the Egyptian Ra. They came to help the Egyptians, and they ended up being worshipped as gods, and that's not what they wanted, so they ended up leaving. But anyways, that's all in this book. You can read that. What I wanted to read to you was actually from a different entity that they were channeling, not from Ra. But anyways, this sums up everything that I'm trying to say about the law of attraction. And this entity says, desire, my friends, is the key to what you receive. If you desire it, you shall receive it. This was the Creator's plan, a plan in which all his parts would receive all his parts. Again, this goes back to the hologram thing, would receive exactly what they desire. My friends, often in the illusion which you now experience, it seems that you do not acquire what you desire. In fact, the opposite seems to be the case in many, many instances. It is a paradox. It seems that such a statement should be made and that such apparent results of desire are manifested, and yet we state, without exception, that man receives exactly what he desires. Perhaps, my friends, you do not understand desire. Perhaps this understanding is not within the intellectual mind. Perhaps it will be necessary to spend time in meditation to become aware of your real desire. For, my friends, there is much, much more of you and of the creation than you presently appreciate with your intellectual abilities and your present illusion. It is very difficult for the people of this planet to give up their illusion, to give up the preconceived knowledge of what they believe to be the cause and effect. However, this is not reality. This is illusion, born of illusion. It is a simple product of the complexity that man upon this planet has generated. Join with us in divorcing your thinking from such complexities and become aware of what has created you, everything that you experience and everything that is thought. Be aware of your Creator. Become aware of his desire, and when you know this desire, you will know your own. For you and your Creator are one, and you are one with all of his parts, and therefore all of your fellow beings throughout all of creation. When you know his desire, you will feel it. There will be no more confusion. There will be no more questions. You will have found what you have sought. You will have found love, for this is the desire of your Creator. that all of his parts express and experience the love that created you. This may be found simply in meditation. No amount of seeking within the intellectual concepts of your people, no amount of careful planning or careful interpretation of the written or spoken word will lead you to the simple truth. That is some powerful stuff there, guys. That is some really powerful stuff there. But basically, that was done actually, I think, before 1981, and the Law of Attraction didn't come out until, I don't know, 2005, 2006, maybe a little earlier. So again, as I said, I mean, these people basically stole this from the ancients and other teachings that have been done throughout the years. Anyways, as that paragraph, I mean, that is powerful, guys. As that paragraph said, you literally create your universe, and I truly believe that. And this is the thought that came to me in my meditation today, is that, okay, first of all, I have to get a couple facts out of the way so that you understand what I'm saying. Scientists have proven that 95, maybe, actually, I'm sorry, I think it's 99% of our visible universe, of our universe is not visible. So we're really only seeing less than 1% of the entire universe at any one point, any given time, at any one point in time. And if you know the electromagnetic spectrum, you've got gamma rays, microwaves, I mean, all the different than visible waves, which is the light and the things that we see. Okay, so you have to understand that our eyes are basically interpreting what we see through our brain, through our electromagnetic brain. Our body is basically nothing but electromagnetic, technology in a sense, a very extremely high technology. But in a sense, it's not much different from a computer, our brain, but extremely highly developed computer. But anyways, so basically we're interpreting what we see, what our eyes see. Okay? And another thing you have to understand is that we really are nothing but space. Okay? If you look at an atom, I mean, the allegory is that, if your nucleus of your atom was the size of the smallest pea you could find, the whole atom would have to fill up a whole football stadium, okay, because it takes that much amount of space to create the atom, okay? There's a ton of space in atoms. So basically, even though this feels solid, it's not really solid. It's just our interpretation of it. And that explains why people can walk on coals, okay? Because if they don't interpret the pain, if they don't interpret that space is hot, those coals, which are nothing but space, are hot, then their body does not take that, okay? Their body does not, comprehend that and send pain throughout the body and burn your feet. Okay, so anyways, through this meditation, I'm going to try to explain this the best way that I can. What I came to realize in my meditation today was that basically we all are creating our own universe, okay? But somehow they all interlace together. But my universe is different than your universe. Literally, we are all literally recreating our own universe. So every single person's universe is different than the next person's. And to give you an idea of how this came to my mind, this is a book called DMT, The Spirit Molecule by Rick Strassman. He did experiments for 5 years, from 1990 to 95, with the spirit molecule DMT, which is inside our body, inside our pineal gland, which is also known as the third eye. Okay, and DMT, we have strong releases of DMT when we're born and when we die. Okay, it literally is the gateway for the self, for the spirit. Okay, it's how we enter and leave. Okay, this reality. But anyways, one of the persons that he gave DMT to, he summed up, here it is, everything. Basically, he was saying that he's saying, I met myself as the creator. And Rick says, creator of, he says, the creator of all. I have had that realization before, but not at this level. Okay, and he says, there was the sound of the entire universe, more like a hum. It was pervasive, overwhelming. I thought, holy moly, how did I get into this? things weren't right and were getting more wrong all the time. Then my ability to perceive as a human being winked out. There were no more emotions because emotions work only up to a certain point. I saw a man lying in a hospital room. He was naked with a person on either side of him, one female, one male. At first they didn't look like anybody I knew. They were perfect, generic human beings. I recognized in the context that they were me, you, and Laura. The way of knowing was totally different from this reality. I didn't know I was in a study of any kind. There was something wrong with him. He was there to get better. The hospital was a healing center. What was wrong with him was death. The naked person was dead. What killed him was the stress from the DMT. None of my guardians or protectors made an appearance. They were out of the loop. He was healed, more than healed. He was reborn. He got cured from death, healed from death. And then he became the creator of the whole universe. I gradually became more and more solid and moved towards my everyday presence. I watched the universe's creation down from the fundamental mental energy to a vibratory rate to material things. I realized I was recreating the hospital and the room. As the world gelled more and more, I wanted to see it, and I asked to have the eye shades taken off. I became fascinated with my fingers like a newborn. I've taught classes on how the universe is a construct of your own mind. This guy is a shaman in New Mexico who was a volunteer to take DMT. And here it was happening. My attitude was different when I knew you were my creations. I felt as close to you as to my own son and daughter. I would have to say my experience was a classical death, rebirth experience, which is what the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and all these secret societies, even the Freemasons today, talk about, okay? Anyways, I had done it before, but never in the same way as with DMT. It was spectacular in imagery, texture, and atmosphere, and had incredible lighting and effects. Boil it down, and it's very, very classic. Okay, so that's basically it. But yeah, he sums that up in a perfect way. Your universe is nothing but a construct of your own mind. Okay, so now that we got those out of the way, that was a realization. I mean, basically that I am creating everybody is creating their own universe, and somehow it all interlocks together, and we all kind of go in and out of each other's universes, and that's why when you're around somebody that's negative, or different people in your life affect your universe, and you affect theirs. And that has to do also with our auras, okay? Our field that is around everybody's body, that is putting out a field that can reach, depending on your spiritual level, it can reach miles. Okay, they say that the Buddha's aura was 35 miles or something like that in radius. Okay, so, that was a realization I had, and I don't know, I just thought that was amazing. And so what that means is that if you want to be happy, if you want to be prosperous, if you want peace in your universe, in your world, all you have to do is think it and feel it. And that's something that Greg Braden teaches in this Divine Matrix and in that movie, is the key is feeling, okay? The key is feeling. And it goes back to the chakras. There's 7 main chakra points in your body. Okay, you've got the crown, you've got the third eye, you've got the throat, okay, you've got the heart, you've got the sacral chakra, you've got the, I can't remember this one, and then the root. Anyways, there's 3 different, the root is at the it all goes up your spine, okay, and that has to do with the kundalini rising, all that stuff. But anyways, if you'll notice, your heart is in the middle. These are your 3 spiritual chakras, okay? These are your 3 higher self spiritual chakras. These are your 3 lower self material chakras, okay? Also emotions. So the key to getting what you want is to thinking it in your spiritual, okay, in your spiritual chakra center, all right? And then to feel it, okay, and connect the emotion and the thought into the heart, into the center of the chakra centers, and feel it, okay? And your heart is nothing but a massive electromagnetic field. And most of you will know that electricity, electromagnetism affects the field around it, Okay, so if you can send out that feeling, that electromagnetic wave, you will attract it to you, and that hence is where they get the law of attraction, okay? But the thing is, they don't explain this stuff in the movie or in the book. I haven't read the book, but I would imagine they don't explain all this scientific information that goes along with it, okay? So, and it's key. So, I can't stress enough, guys, and I think I say this in just about every video I've done. Meditation, meditation, meditation. Okay. And another thing, another piece of advice that I can give you is go to YouTube and type up solfeggio frequencies or 528 hertz or meditation music. Find something that you like. One that I really like, it's called Merlin's Magic. Okay, and there's a couple different ones. The Heart of Reiki, whatever, however you pronounce it, is a really, really good one. Okay, and the key is to, when you're meditating, listening to that music, make sure you use headphones, is to feel the feelings, like the goosebumps that you get when you feel something good or you hear something good. Feel that. Let that feeling, just take over your whole body. Feel love, feel peace, feel harmony, okay? That is the key, guys. And so when you have a thought, whatever it be, I've been praying a lot for world peace and prosperity, so that I can help more people and bring in more peace and love. And, it's amazing. I mean, if you want proof that it works, look at my blog post that I did. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and most of you may not know, but I actually quit marketing online for about 3 months. I literally didn't even send an email, no blog, nothing for 3 months, okay? And I'll tell you this, I realized this the other night talking to him. I've been practicing this meditation for, I don't know, 2 months maybe. And I made and generated more leads and made more money in the 3 months doing absolutely nothing than I did for almost 7-8 months working day and night. Okay, so think about that. For 3 months not doing anything, I made more money and I didn't generate more leads, but I generated almost as many leads as I did doing absolutely nothing, practicing this meditation and growing my spiritual side of myself, which is more important than the material side of life. And it's amazing, because I detach from results, and that's something that the Buddhists and the Hindus teach you, is detach. Gandhi's he summed it up perfectly. Renounce and rejoice. Okay, renounce and rejoice. And here's a verse from the Upanishads, which I absolutely love. It's the very first Upanishad, okay? The Lord is enshrined in the hearts of all. Again, that goes back to the holographic and what, I've been talking about. The Lord is the supreme reality. Rejoice in him through renunciation. Covet nothing. All belongs to the Lord. Okay? That is a powerful verse right there, guys. And if you can learn to detach from results. I used to get so obsessed to the point where I was even afraid to log in to check, because if I didn't get what I was wanting, what I was visualizing, I would get so upset. Okay, so I just figured I just won't even look. But that was the problem. When I didn't care about the results, when I detached. Okay, so if I did get results, okay, awesome. If I didn't, okay, awesome. Same feeling for both. No duality, all right? No duality. Detaching, it's very hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not. It's extremely hard. But look at Mahatma Gandhi and what he was able to do because he detached. He renounced and rejoiced. Okay, so either way, you're going to live. Who cares if you lose everything? You're going to live, you're going to get through it, okay? It's just the way life is, And where is it at? I love this in the Buddha, the Dhammayata. And this will sum up this video, if I can find it. If life is conceived as a school where all are training for full spiritual development, the Arhat is the graduate. Profound, measureless, unfathomable is the Arhat, like a great ocean, says the Buddha. The concept reborn does not apply to such a person, nor not reborn, nor any combination of such words. So life is nothing but a school to develop spiritually. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, no matter what path you take, there's many different paths you can take. They all lead to spiritual development at one time or another, because that is the point in life, okay? Everybody's been asking for thousands of years, why are we here? What is the point in life? Well, I can tell you what the point in life is, in my opinion. Again, find your own light and truth, but it's to develop spiritually, okay? To develop spiritually. All right, so that's all I have today, guys. Talk to you later. Grace and peace. Love you. Namaste.